Good evening. I want to welcome you to our town council monthly meeting. And this time I ask Mrs. Sharp to let the record show that all councilors are present. Mr. Luack, we jump to the prayer, please.
We pray for our country at all times, that all citizens are safe, healthy, and happy. We pray for wisdom for all those who guide and govern. Help this governing body in every situation to know and to do the things that are right and just, the soundness of judgment in making vital decisions. We pray for the peacemakers, that the holy life-giving spirit may ever dwell in their hearts, and the barriers of fear, suspicion, and hatred may fall. This we pray to the Holy Father. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, this brings us to our public comment period. And again, we encourage you, if you have any, you want to jump on that?
I'm just going to,
Oh, thank you.
sorry.
Sorry.
Does anybody else need anything? No.
Okay. Again, this is our public comment period. Again, we want to hear from the public. We encourage you to come to the podium, state your name, and share what you need to share. Your comments are important to us. We will not dialogue with you at this time, but if we feel it's an item that needs to be put on the agenda at a later council meeting, please see our manager, and we will do that for you. So, anyone at this time? Any comments? Okay.
Patrick Millett, I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service office in Caribou, and I'm here to recognize the Public Safety Office as the 2019 Weather Ready Nation Ambassador of Excellence for the WFO Caribou area of service. And, the certificate I have reads as follows. The town of Fort Fairfield continues to stand out among our partners due to their steadfast commitment to weather awareness and preparedness over the past decade. They continue to expand their awareness of ice jam flooding, severe weather, and numerous other weather events, develop plans that educate the public on these threats. They're a force multiplier in helping to make their community more resilient in building a ready weather nation. And for that, the forecast office at Caribou is thankful.
One second. Do the shake and take.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks.
Joe. Does this mean we have to call Chief Mr. Ambassador?
Oh, we will never hear the end of this. I didn't even hear you.
Thank goodness. Chief, do we have to call you Mr. Ambassador now?
Yeah. Just ambassador is fine.
Okay. Correspondence and report.
This letter is from Timothy Doak, the superintendent of MSCD 20. Dear council members and town manager, I want to take this opportunity to thank the town of Fort Fairfield Highway Department for the wonderful job in completing the much needed upgrade to Fort Fairfield Middle High School sidewalks and the landing at the main entrance area. The crew's motivation for such work is what makes Fort Fairfield a great community to live and work. When the school department and town engage in this type of cooperation, it adds value to our community and our schools. The Highway Department's efforts in making the Fort Fairfield Middle High School's entrance safer for students, staff, and the public has added to a rich tradition of strong community pride in MSAD number 20's facilities and grounds. Once again, MSCD 20 School Department is appreciative of the work the Highway Department does every day. It is truly impressive to know that a major project such as this one can be completed by your professional team. On behalf of myself and the school board, we thank you for a job well done, and we look forward to continued cooperation and support in the future. Sincerely, Timothy Doak, Superintendent of Schools.
Well done, there. Andrew. Of course.
Okay.
As of October 16th, 2019, we have received a copy of an application for a malt, Venice, and spiritus license renewal for the Knights of Columbus, number 1753. September revenue sharing. We received revenue sharing in the amount of $34,150.12. Year-to-date collections are $97,207.92. Total excise tax collected for the first quarter was $228,729.58. That's 36.6% of our budget. The state revenue sharing, of course, was $97,207.92, which is 22.41% of the budget. And real estate and personal property taxes collected during the first quarter were at $169,383.98. We have filed 117 liens as of September 9th, and 224 30-day notices were sent out for a total of $99,418.93. And as of September 30th, we have collected $11,557.39 from 13 owners. The loan balances are as follows. Jones Fuel is at $2,330.63. Langley, number 5275, is at $19,016.63. Langley, number 5277, is at $6,899.37. And Pelletier is at $838.91.
Okay, this time we'll hear from Mr. Radesky with the S report.
Good evening, councilors.
Thank you, sir.
Dry Community Landfill or Rustic Waste Solutions, sorry about that. Met on September 27th. These were some of the key things that we talked about that day. We want to make a lot of people aware of the fact that the market in recyclables has pretty near crashed to almost nothing. I checked with Mark as of this morning. We're actually spending about $1.50 out for every dollar worth of recyclables we take in right now. If the cardboard prices come back up, that may change some. Right now, we really got to sit back and look at it as we're going into next year's budget planning. It looks, as of right now, we'll probably be $75,000 behind budget this year because of recyclable prices being lower than we anticipated. So we just make people aware of that. There are going to be some changes in the way the recycling is done, and we don't want to catch people off guard too fast. So we like to get out to them. We're looking at some different alternatives to do something with them. The new scales are in place and working, which the scale operator's grateful for. We didn't have any actual operation problems with the scales on a daily basis, but when we had any repairs done, they were so old that they were costing us a lot of money. So we moved that up from our capital plan to a year ahead of time to put them in, and it worked out pretty well for us to get them before winter, so that was all taken care of. We get a letter of warning from the DEP on leachate runoff, and this kind of trails back to in April when we had all of the snow melting and Caribou couldn't take our leachate anymore. The letter of warning is just something that they have to do because we had a leachate leak. They knew about it. They approved us to being able to do that because we had no place to send it because they stopped us from sending it to Caribou. The reason I mentioned it to you is that we are going to be looking in the future to possibly utilize the Fort Fairfield Utilities District to help us take some of that overflow and if it happens. We didn't receive any fines for that, and the warning is really just a letter of recognition that something did take place. And we called them ahead of time, and they knew ahead of time it was going to happen. So we'll be back to you in the future, I'm sure, about this deal with the Fort Fairfield Utilities District as we go forward. We've also started talking about some solar projects. There's nothing definite there, but we have had 2 or 3 different projects approach us about doing something at the landfill with some of the space that we're not using right now for anything but storage. And we're currently working on next year's budget, and we should have something we can give you in November. probably be in your December meeting, honestly, because we're meeting on the fourth weekend now. Any questions?
Steve, something about the recycling. It's, you say you might put a change or something like that. You're looking at something. My thing is, I mean, if it's going to be a change, if it's gonna be put out to public long
yeah.
before it's done.
It will be, yeah. And
I don't wanna know, it'll be like we had before, last minute, which I like the public to know.
yeah, I think the state mandate says we're supposed to be trying to hit a 50% recycling mark. We've never hit that mark, and not as any other landfill or facility in the state of Maine. We're at 38% right now. We're probably the highest in the state. The real bulk of our issues right now are cardboard. We could pack it up and bale it, and it's costing us more to do that than we get for when we're shipping it out. So we don't know where that's going to go from there. And as a board, we're going to discuss next Friday if we just eat that and have to keep maintaining that because that's what the state's telling us we need to do, or if we seek some help from the governor's office on how they want to curb that so that we won't see the expense for it.
Can't they issue permits to burn the excessive revenue off the cardboard and whatnot?
Well, recycling doesn't fall on the burden.
No, I understand that, but they've got a certain, I know, there was a texture change, something to do with glossy versus cardboard.
We've only ever been able to recycle good, clean, corrugated cardboard. That's all.
The rest of it goes into the
The rest of
dump.
it's been going in the landfill right along.
Okay,
We don't have any issue putting it on the hill. There's plenty of room for it. The issue is the state mandates us to meet a certain goal.
right,
And that cardboard's our only way to do that.
okay, yeah. I didn't know if there was a different texture that
No,
would matter.
no, it's really an issue of that we don't have a buyer for it.
Yeah.
So, anything else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Old business.
Ordinance 19-04, general assistance. The purpose of this ordinance is to adopt the new maximums for the 2019-2020 general assistance appendices A through F. These maximums are updated annually and are effective October 1st, 2019, or immediately upon adoption by the municipal officers. How do you vote?
Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion for ordinance 19-04.
To adopt the new maximums. Second.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Take it to a vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott? Aye. Mitch? Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay. Ordinance 19-06.
The purpose of this ordinance is for the conveyance of municipally owned property identified as part of Lot 66-A on Tax Assessor's Map 28. How does council vote?
Do I have a motion for this ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we accept ordinance 19-06.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Okay, we'll vote. Bob?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Melissa? Aye. And I vote aye. Okay, ordinance 19-06.
The purpose of this ordinance was the adoption of an animal ordinance. How does council vote?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we adopt ordinance 19-07.
Do I have a second? Okay. And tables?
Well, is there another motion?
I make a motion to table this.
Tables. Okay, we have a motion to table.
I'll second that.
Second. Any questions or comments? Okay, we'll vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
May I have a clarification? Table to the next council? This memo is concerning a full-time fire-based EMS service in the town of Fort Fairfield. This is directly from me as town manager. As a council that has listened to their community and evaluated the present emergency medical care needs, we have focused in on patient transportation issues. What Chief Baldwin and I have researched and discussed and shown you during the workshop last week is that rapid on-scene medical intervention produces the best patient outcomes. A fire-based service is best positioned to deliver this critical care as well as rapid patient transport. Fire-based EMS provides a comprehensive approach to emergency care with trained personnel capable of handling any complication. A better chance for patient survival is the true measure of quality for any pre-hospital emergency medical system. A full-time fire-based EMS service is known for its rapid mobilization. Firefighters are the nation's first responders, and fire-based EMS get to the scene faster. The teamwork, efficient job performance, and continuous patient contact by a full-time fire-based EMS affects patient care in a way that cannot be qualified by dollars. Time waits for no one. It's precious, and when lives are on the line, every second counts. The town of Fort Fairfield's fire-based EMS service will consist of highly qualified public servants trained to handle crisis after affecting both people and property. The dedication and training of these professionals and their commitment to quality of care are just two of the many reasons why fire-based emergency medical service is the clear choice for the town of Fort Fairfield. Full-time fire-based EMS is a system that works in the field, not only on paper. What we would be gaining in the areas of response time, personnel capabilities, and system efficiency far exceeds the costs discussed. I have every confidence in Chief Baldwin and his ability to make this a successful full-time fire-based EMS service. My recommendation is Town Council approves a full-time fire-based EMS service department in the town of Fort Fairfield. I have a letter here from the Presque Isle Fire Department. Dear Andrea, this letter written on behalf of myself and City Manager Martin Puckett is to acknowledge the full support of the City of Presque Isle to Fort Fairfield as you and Council look to move forward with providing a municipal ambulance service within your community. We will make ourselves available to you with answering any questions you may have, as well as providing technical support when needed. More importantly, when you have your EMS service up and running, we would be very interested in working on a mutual aid agreement between the two communities, as we believe this would provide an even stronger EMS service for not only our communities, but to the surrounding communities as well. If you have any questions or concerns as you move forward, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. As mentioned, we will do all we can to help you move forward in this venture. Respectfully, Martin Puckett, City Manager, Daryl White, Fire EMS Chief.
We have a recommendation, do we have a motion? Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I would just like to say, since this whole thing's in hand, I jotted a few things down. When I found out that we had no contract, or the contract was going with the other service, I checked into a few of the things, and one of the things that I brought to the last meeting is we had one call out where the ambulance was called and had a relative from Bridgewater making the Fort Fairfield before the ambulance got there. A couple of incidences that I was told of that the tone was out, and we had EMS personnel downstairs, and one incident they were eating their lunch, and the other incident they were cleaning their equipment, and they didn't go out until that was done. The other one is it took 30 minutes to get from here to the border. I found all three of these unexcusable. There's no need for it when we have a service and they're right down here in downtown. Now, also, I've been checking into some of the responses from the fire department during the daytime. And I was alarmed to find out that we've had a couple of tone-outs that nobody showed up. Or I had the fire chief get down there, and the fire chief had to call people. I have nothing bad to say about the volunteer fire department, except for the fact that during the daytime, they've got other jobs. And they're working in other jobs outside of town. They're not available to respond to town for especially right before. One man cannot go out on a fire alarm on a fire truck by himself. We all know that. So if my house caught fire right now, I would have to wait for mutual aid come from Presque Isle Caribou before somebody got to my house. I think that's unexcusable. I think we gotta look at the fact that, we had a full-time fire department here at one time. And when we went to volunteer fire department, I mean, it was working out good because we had more businesses in town, where people worked in town. And the company owners let their people go handle fires. Well, now we don't have that. The situation changed 120%. Now we got people working out of town that would most love to come to a fire, but they can't because of their jobs. So I think we need to look at this, we need to look at getting somebody here full-time to answer these calls, especially during the daytime, because if my house burns down, because I have to wait for Presque Isle to come over, I'm gonna be one upset little person. And the other people are gonna be upset. I've had people I've talked to that their main concern is when they call an ambulance, they don't wanna wait half an hour, 45 minutes. They want an ambulance there now, within reasonable time. So this is that's the way I feel about it, and I think we're moving ahead. Like I said, I told some of the time, it's not the fact that Fort Fairfield afford to have a fire department, the EMS, is can Fort Fairfield not afford to have? And that's how I feel about the whole situation.
Any other comments?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I took the past week, and of course, what I do for a living, I meet, get a chance to talk to a lot of people. And I look at this, you know, we're here for a reason. We were voted in by the people. And I have a personal opinion on this matter myself. And I'm going to set it aside and only speak by the input that I have from our taxpayers and people in that community. And the amount of input of positive versus negative was overwhelming. Despite the expense, I mean, we've got a lot of learning curves here going on. This isn't gonna get up and run, you know, 110% immediately. There's gonna be some learning, and there's gonna be some adjusting, there's gonna be massaging, there's gonna be, you know, to get this thing operating right. Fire department, I've been overwhelmed. The staff is only what it has to work with. And that's where we've been at. We've got people that are ahead of the departments, that are good at trained, knowledgeable, and professional at what they do, but one man can't answer all the calls, and it gets down to the ambulance. We have a whole community that's concerned about it, and I feel the majority is what I looked at, and it was definitely majority rule on going forward with this. And secondly, we look at what we have to work with in our community. I feel our community, you know, possibly don't give it enough credit because of what other communities have to work with versus what we have to work with on manpower, and look what we can accomplish in our community is unmentionable, unheard of in some communities. And when this plan was drawn up, I feel that as far as it being I's are dotted and T's are crossed was very professionally done. And I feel that the town manager that serviced our community in our municipality right now wouldn't be moving forward with things that she didn't feel was appropriate. I trust her call on this quite highly, and the staff that she has to work with. So under a short time, week to 10 days, maybe, the input that I have from the community was move forward with it. So under that base, if it was negative, you'd be here, and it's not. So I feel good about it. Like I said, I think there's some adjusting and there's some learning curves through this that'll only improve it as it's working. So,
Any other comments, questions?
I just want to say that I think a lot of people are very concerned as to what this will do, tax wise. And I completely understand that. But what people are not looking at is that this is also going to generate revenue. So in a 5-year time span, it should pay for itself. There should not be, that I can foresee, a big need to increase the taxes. As in anything else, this is, very progressive thinking. This is something that maybe comes across a little bit scary to our small town that isn't used to a lot of change. So, it is a big thing. It's a big deal, but it's something that's going to benefit us. It's going to help us to get hopefully more businesses in town. It's something that, opens up a lot of doors for us that we don't have right now. And, I think that people need to just kind of open their minds and, look at all of the aspects of this versus just, this is gonna raise my taxes, because that may not be the case. I don't know what is gonna happen a year or 2 years from now. I don't think any of us do, but I think that, it can generate enough income to support itself.
Any comments?
Usually do.
Yeah.
As I said before, this is what I did for a living for 40 years, so I understand this is needed. What Mitch was talking about, that the volunteers aren't available anymore, this is a nationwide trend. It's happening everywhere. When I worked in Laconia, we had over 30 volunteers. They went to 0. And then they had to put additional staff on. The people that I have talked to want an ambulance service here. It's unfortunate we lost the ambulance service, and that service was going away anyway. It was getting worse. That's why they talked about 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute responses. That's unacceptable. When a person has a heart attack and they're out, they got 4 to 6 minutes. We can have that here again. I'm not worried about the expense. You are going to get revenue back. Are you going to break even? I don't think so. Bill collecting your stuff. It's going to be hard. But it's a service that we need. From what I've heard, it's what the people want. I have not heard anything. The only concern that I have, and I appreciate the letter from the town manager, Pascal, but when the chief from Kirby was here, we need to take care of our citizens. Mutual aid is a good thing, but we don't want to send our ambulance away and then not have coverage. That all has to be worked out, and I know the chief and the manager will work all that stuff out. There's a lot of logistics here. There's a lot that needs to be done before this is going to start. So that's all I have.
I also want to add that, and people that I have talked to, I've not had any negative comments. I've had some questions, some educated questions, which was very good. That way to be able to answer them accordingly and not just go on speculation. And so I do want to thank our town manager for the work she put in, but also in trying to make this work financially and allowing the even the cuts made in our budget to be able to release funds so that we can work on something positive for our community. So again, as all have shared, this is the start, but it's something that is going to get tweaked. It's not going to be perfect from the get-go, but it's going to move forward. And I'm sure those that are responsible for doing their jobs in this will tweak and will adjust and we'll make it work comfortably. So, no other questions or comments? Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. Put it to a vote. Bob?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
The RFPs, would you like to table those? Would you like to reset them out? What would you like to do moving forward? For the bids that we, or RFPs that we're in.
Yeah, let's do it. You'll have all this.
That they're all in. We got 3 in.
You got 3.
Yeah.
That's really more.
No.
How did you?
Would you like to table them for the next meeting? Would you like
Yeah,
to
that would be-
resend them out? What would you like to do?
Entertain a motion to table.
I'll make a motion we table it for next meeting. And you have the figures, you need the figures out. A little more about that, because it's hard to go on something.
Because we may have to resend our, based
Exactly,
upon what you'd like to see.
Yeah.
Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay. Further questions or comments? We'll vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay. New business, Fort Fairfield Snowmobile Club Trailman.
This is the municipal county grant and aid program for snowmobile fund for the Fort Fairfield Snowmobile Club. The town of Fort Fairfield has provided a channel for snowmobile trail maintenance funds from the state to the Fort Fairfield Snowmobile Club since 1999. This is very little staff time required to assist the Fort Fairfield Snowmobile Club in their grant application. The club prepares and manages all the paperwork. The state distributes the grant funds to the municipality, and the municipality appropriates the grant funds to the club in accordance with MRSA Title 12, Chapter 220, Subchapter 8, Section 1893.3. The recommendation is that town council approves the Fort Fairfield Snowmobile Club's application for the municipal county grant and aid program for snowmobile fund and authorizes the town manager to sign the application for financial assistance.
So move.
Second.
Questions, comments? We'll vote. Bob?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Walker Capital LLC Solar Project. In my research of potential solar farm possibilities for the town of Fort Fairfield, I was approached by Shane McDougall of Aviest Engineering to conduct a site survey within the town. We looked at several possible site locations, and during their initial study, they have determined a parcel that could be a potential site. They have drafted a letter of intent for the town of an outline of proposed terms of a potential lease agreement with the town. They are requesting the town signs the letter of intent as a general understanding of the contemplated transaction, and that it is not a binding contract until the transaction of the solar array is a mutually acceptable lease by both parties. The recommendation is that the council allows the town manager to sign the letter of intent with Walker Capital LLC for the possible solar array in the town of Fort Fairfield.
So moved.
Questions or comments? Okay, we'll vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay. General election.
This memo is from Billy Joe Sharp, the town clerk, on elections. The main referendum and local election this year is scheduled for November 5th, 2019. She's anticipating average turnout as this is a state referendum election along with local school board and town council seats. As in the past, they need to have the council vote on the opening 8 a.m. and closing 8 p.m. of the polls, which is set by the state as stated in Title 21-A, subsection 626. Designation of counting location per Title 21-A, subsection 622-A. Designation of voting poll location, the election warden, Billy Joe Sharp, the warrant for payment for the election clerks, and the election clerks and counters. The recommendation is that town council approves as presented.
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments? We'll vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mitch? Bob?
Aye.
I vote aye. Okay, the minutes of monthly meeting, September 18th, 2019.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes for September 18th, 2019 at our regular council meeting.
Second.
Second, any questions or comments? Okay, we'll vote. Bob?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
I vote aye. We have 4 warrants.
So I'll read each warrant and then the final amounts on warrant. So it's not repetitive. Warrant 6 in the amount of $383,822.18 was completed on September 24th, 2019. Warrant 7 in the amount of $21,850, and Warrant 8 in the amount of $1,289.96 were completed on September 25th, 2019. And Warrant 9 in the amount of $241,928.80 was completed on October 9th, 2019, leaving us with a checking balance of $51,014.23, a Machias savings balance of $5,000, and a Cedars balance of $813,860, and ICS balance of $143,273.
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the warrants as written.
Second,
Second.
questions or comments? We'll vote, Melissa?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Other business?
Office closures for November 5th, 2019 Election Day and November 14th, 2019 Thanksgiving. MRS Title 21-A, Election Subsection 661, the registrar states that the registrar shall hold office hours as long as the polls are open on any election day for the following purposes: error in incoming voting lists, change of name or address, registration, and enrollment. Neither the clerk nor deputy clerk can leave the polls. Therefore, we will need to close the town office on November 5th, 2019 from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. to cover the lunch hour on that day for the main office. However, Ella has stated if the council would prefer to have the office open during that time, that she would forgo her lunch. So I'll leave that up to council's discretion. The annual Thanksgiving dinner for town staff and the utilities district staff at 11:30 on Thursday, November 14th. As has been done in the past, the town office, all departments, and the library will be closed from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. so all town employees can enjoy the dinner together. The recommendation is town council approves the closing of the town office on November 5th, 2019 from 12 to 1, and November 14th, 2019 from 11 to 1.
So. Second,
Second.
questions or comments? Okay, we'll vote. Melissa?
Aye.
Scott? Aye. Mitch?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you, Ella, for volunteering. So, excuse me. We appreciate it. Even though we voted over it, but we appreciate your offer.
And councilors' invitations are in the council packet. So now we have executive session.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to go to executive session.
Second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Vote, Bob?
Aye.
Mitch? Scott? Melissa? I vote aye. Thank you, folks, for coming.
Oh, yeah.